We're tracking states that are trying to regulate AI. It's in the next, probably 18 months that we're going to see a lot more activity on the state level. That's typically where policy incubates, is on the state level. So that's, I think you're going to see that start first. But it'd be great if you had government acting to convene stakeholders and to talk this out. Now we're trying to do it in Massachusetts. The governor has announced an AI council, an AI specifically, an AI for X, I think is what they call it. And it's a cross-disciplinary, cross-industry panel. A lot of CEOs on it. So, I think, let's hope that we get some good stuff out of that. But, it's a real issue because, one of the things that you said that I want to kind of just jump back to really quick is that there are inherent biases in data right now, and health, and it is borne out in health equity and everything we look at in health equity. There is differences in care depending on your race and your gender. And my concern is if we don't bring these questions out, don't have these hard discussions, that we're just going to basically, solidify prejudice in the data. We're gonna take this bad corrupted data that's already leading to unequal outcomes, and we're gonna back it with something that has people give a lot of credence and credibility to. So, I think government's role here is to convene and to listen. Now, not always their best thing they do, but
they do that?
they do, and sometimes those things do create policy. But, as we're building these stakeholder groups, we gotta get as many people to the table as possible.
I think there's like a strange sort of gap in modern culture, which is if you're passing a new law or you're doing a large infrastructural project like the Big Dig or something, you have lots of public hearings, and they're typically very entertaining / frustrating depending on your perspective, because people show up and everybody has an opinion about how they have a right to say how this is going to affect their life and how they want it to be shaped. But when it comes to the digital, somehow that it gets a pass. So we can make massive changes to people's lives digitally, and there's not really a forum or expectation that they get a say in, actually don't want this to be part of my life, or I do want it, but I want it to be explainable in this way, or I want to have control opt-in or opt-out abilities, these types of things. So I think the conversation you're calling for is really, it's in the general spirit of modern democracies. It's just we've sort of lost track of that in the digital realm. I'm not sure why. That's a longer conversation, I think.
Well, one other thing I'll add, the governance question, is that the nature of this sort of the technologies like AI now, they're moving faster than typical most technologies we've seen. In fact, even if you look at the trajectory of the sequencing technologies, just 20 years ago, where we finished, roughly 20 years ago, where we had the genome, and it took $3 billion in 11, 12 countries, and the scale has significantly shifted. 2010, we could now do similar stuff for $100,000 and then $10,000. Now, I think Ultima Genomics announced that you can do a whole wide sequence for $100, right? So that scale is significantly faster than what we have seen, what typically we describe technology moving at Moore's law. This is faster than that.